Do you know what? I should probably actually do some kind of an intro. Hey, I'm Joe Unsworth. Hey, I'm Joe Unsworth. I'm a videographer and filmmaker, and I specialize in beauty and tech. Hey, I'm Joe Unsworth. We're 3.5 minutes in. Hey, I'm Joe Unsworth. I'm a videographer and I specialize in beauty content and tech content. I've been wanting to make this video for a while now, and I've finally managed to get my hands on them. You can probably see in the corner of the frame over there. I've finally got hold of 2 of the 1TB Angelbird CF Express Type A cards here in the UK. There's been some supply issues. The vendor that I originally had orders with, they had a couple of delays, and they were thankfully able to cancel those orders. And I've gone ahead and got hold of these from ProAV. So thank you very much to ProAV for getting these to me. I did pay for these with my own money. This is not sponsored. I just thought I would do I just thought I'd do a bit of an oh my God, why is this so hard to say? I thought I'd do a bit of an unboxing video. There we go, finally got it out. I thought I'd do a bit of an unboxing, try saying that after a few drinks, and have a bit of a chat about why I picked these up, how these are gonna fit into my workflow moving forwards, and why you might wanna grab a pair of these for yourself. I did not know that making a YouTube video was gonna be this hard. Jeez, okay. All right, and relax. Okay, thank you for being here. Thank you for sticking with me. Let's go. I have to say, when I started in photography, probably about 10 years ago now, in fact, possibly even longer, probably 12 years ago at this point, I definitely didn't think the day would come that I'd be spending £1,100 on memory cards. But there you have it. This is the way of the world now. This is how it is. People ask why video production is expensive. There's your answer. Seriously though, believe it or not, these are actually quite cheap compared to the competition. So a few years ago now, when Sony released the A7S III mirrorless camera, which is what I'm shooting this video on right now, it's also a feature on their A1, which is my B cam over there, the A7R5, I believe, possibly even the A7 IV. Anyway, when they released those cameras, they released a new type of memory card, the CF Express Type A, and they were the only company who made them. So the prices were truly obscene. Now, they were very good performance for what they were, but they were obscene. So looking at today's prices, the Sony cards for 160 gig will set you back £360. For 320 gigs, so double that, you're looking at around £570 to £630. They do a 960 gig variant as well, so that's probably the closest matched to these 1TB cards from Angelbird, and that will set you back £860 per card. They also offer close to 2TB variant, it's 1920 gig, and that will set you back £1,550 per card. So when you put them side by side and you actually compare the Angelbirds versus the Sony's original cards on a like-for-like basis, they actually look like pretty good value. But why shoot CF Express Type A anyway? Since I switched to Sony, which was probably about 2 years ago at this stage, I've never actually shot on a Type A, a CF Express Type A card. I've only ever shot exclusively to SD cards. And thinking about it now, I've never really needed the Type A cards. It's not something that I've ever seen the necessity for in my kind of workflow. Most of the stuff that I shoot is at 25p or 50p, and that's in 4K, 10-bit, 422, not the highest bit rate, but the XAVCS codec. And honestly, V90 SD cards have been absolutely fine for what I've needed. In-camera proxies, check. Dual recording, check. 4K, 10-bit, 422, check. Everything that I've needed, I've been just fine with SD cards. But I'm kind of at a point in my videography career now where that isn't really enough. Now, obviously, if you're delivering client work and you're working to a budget and you've got client income coming in for projects, you should be recording absolutely everything to dual cards. There's literally no excuse. You should be recording any client work, any professionally paid work to 2 cards simultaneously. That way, if one card fails, you've got a backup. If that card fails, you're kind of fucked, but at least you've got a second copy, right? So every single piece of work that I've shot in the last 2 years, when I've had a camera with dual card slots, I have consistently recorded to dual cards. It's a great habit to get into. It's something you should be doing, especially if you're being paid for work. So that's the first thing. Second point is in-camera proxies. Now you can do that with SD cards, but not on all codecs, I believe. And of course, if you want to be able to shoot that beautiful all intra 4K 10-bit 422 at 100p, you're going to be needing these Type A cards. Now I haven't opened these yet, so I don't know exactly how much recording time it's going to give me, but based off a quick estimate, a terabyte at 25p in 4K should give me around 15 hours of record time. And in 100p, it should be close to around 6 or 7 hours. So essentially, no stress on set, no risk of running out of storage space. Same if you're shooting stills as well. The files out of the A1 are ridiculous. They're like 65 megabytes per photo, and that's compressed. So now obviously you're gonna have much faster write speeds, but you're gonna benefit from increased read speeds too. Or rather, when I'm on set, that's something that I'm looking forward to in particular. So wrap the shoot, end of a day, take the cards out, pop them in the reader, and SD card I think is capped at something like 200 to 250 megabytes per second read speed, whereas these are closer to 750 megabytes per second. So yeah, read speed, 820 megabytes per second. So about triple the speed of your standard V90 SD card. Pretty good. Quick note on card readers though, make sure you use the card reader that comes from the same manufacturer as your cards. I don't know a huge amount of people personally this has happened to, but yeah, bad experience with a dodgy card reader. Very expensive mistake, don't do it. Buy the card reader from the same manufacturer as your cards. Always use that reader with these cards, and then if you do run into any issues, at least you've maybe got a bit of protection to fall back on through them being from the same manufacturer. But yeah, don't use third-party card readers. I've done it before on professional sets, lost data, paid a ton of money to recover it. Thankfully it was recoverable, but just don't do it. Learn from my mistakes. Record redundant, record to 2 cards, use the right card reader, and you should be safe. Oh yeah, one more thing. I personally much prefer having all my data or all my shots from a shoot on one card, because when it comes to offloading onto your Mac or SSD or NAS or server or whatever it might be, I find it less stressful when everything's in one place. So all the full res media, all the proxies on one card, not split across multiple cards from the day. And I've got a shoot coming up soon, which is going to be out in the field. It's probably going to be something like 10 hours of the day out with the camera. And I don't really want the stress of having to be juggling cards, checking how much storage I've got left, that kind of thing. So really looking forward to just having a full terabyte in the camera, 2 technically, but recording redundant of course, and just being able to blaze through the whole day and not need to worry about storage. That will be very, very good. So yeah, let's have a little look at the cards. Let's take them out of the box, see what comes with them. I'll pop them in the camera, see how much of a record time we're looking at. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it really. So it does ship with a USB-C 3.2 Gen 2x2 cable. So that's got an advertised transfer speed of 20 gigabit per second. You don't actually get this type of USB-C on the latest Apple hardware anyway. I'm pretty sure 3.2 Gen 2x2 is restricted to certain PC motherboards. These cards only actually have a write speed, a maximum theoretical write speed of 820 meg, which is 6.8 gigabit per second. So you'd actually be fine. You'd still get the maximum read speed on these with a bog standard 3.2 or USB 3.1 cable. As long as it's a cable with 10 gigabit per second transfer speed, you'll be fine. This will actually give you up to 100 watts of power delivery as well. So if you wanted to use this as a charging cable, it's perfectly well suited for that. Branded cable tie and a USB-C to USB-A adapter. And we got a little accessories kit, rubber pads if you want to make the reader non-sticky, or sticky non-slippery rather. Record redundant, cover your ass, or lose your client. All right, this is what we're really here for. Let's have a look. Warranty card, what's this? Free filmmaking education with MZ Pro, get a month of free membership. I have no idea what that is, I'll never use that, so tell you what, let's do a giveaway. Drop a comment of why you want this, subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment, like the video, and I'll pick someone at random to get this code. Cool. All right. In other news, this looks very nicely built. I mean, that is definitely, whoa, what is going on there? Okay, that's definitely the most well-built card reader I've ever seen, personally. That is ridiculously snug. That's not going anywhere. And it seems it's actually got a lock switch on here, which I didn't know. Let's get some focus. And it's a push to eject. So yeah, that's really, really nice. If you're not going to pick up the cards, but you need a Type A card reader, this looks sick. But again, I'll be reviewing it on my holiday. I'll be using it to offload all the photos each day. So yeah, I'll put it through its paces, let you know in the next video if it's actually as good as it feels. But that looks very impressive. I'm very impressed with that. Cool, let's put these in the camera, have a look at how I'm going to personally set them up and see how much record time we'll get out of these bad boys. If you're watching this, then I'm assuming you already know about the dual types of card slots on these cameras. Like I said, the S3, the A1, I'm pretty sure the A7 IV or the A7R5, all of them FX6, FX3, FX30, they all or most of those cameras have these types of dual card slots. So you can put an SD card in one way, or you can put these CF Express cards in the other way. So first one going in there, and I'm going to pop the second one in as well. And then we'll boot the camera up and have a look at how we can get these set up. That is very smudgy. So it's giving me the usual kind of format before first use error. There we go. So we'll go ahead and format that. And you know what, let's go full format. I've just remembered this is a 1 terabyte card, so that's probably going to take a while, but let's see how we go. That wasn't sped up either. That is how long it just took to do that. Interestingly, it doesn't seem to have picked up the second card. So let me just go in and we want to change that to simultaneous record. It needs formatted as well. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll do a full format again, enter. So that only actually took 22 seconds roughly per card to complete the format. So a lot quicker than I was expecting it to be. So yeah, I'm in the bog standard 25p XAVCS 4K with internal proxies in 422 10-bit, and it's telling me that I'll get 14.5 hours of record time per card, which is pretty ridiculous. If I switch this over though, and we kick it into 8K, and we'll put that on the highest bit rate, the 420 10-bit. I believe you can't record 422 internally in 8K with the A1. Yeah, so that's giving me 5.5 hours of record time in 8K at 25 frames per second with internal proxies, that's pretty nice. If I drop it down to 100 frames per second, you're getting almost 8 hours. In 50p, you're getting 10.5 hours. Again, this is with proxies. And at 25p, you're getting just over 14.5 hours of record time. So yeah, I'm probably going to leave that rolling overnight in 8K and just see what happens. I mean, the battery will probably drain before then, but I just want to really put these cards through its paces. So I'm just going to set this on the all intra at the highest possible bit rate that it can record. And I'm actually just going to leave that until the battery runs out. Yeah, just leave it till the battery runs out. Let's pop the screen out so it's not overheating or anything. Cool, let's jump back to the studio. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I said, I'm going to be using these for my trip to New York over the next 2 weeks. I'm finally going on holiday. It's very much needed, but I plan to take lots of hopefully very good photos while I'm there. Fingers crossed. So yeah, I'll be putting them through their paces, making sure they're performing as they should be, that there's no errors, no faults, nothing like that going on. And then I'll probably do a follow-up video after that trip, have a look at some of the shots, do a little bit of a review on how the cards have actually performed and whether I'd recommend them for professional work moving forwards. So yeah, that's it from me. If this isn't a one-time thing and I can actually convince myself to make a second video after putting myself through this pretty horrendous filming situation, then maybe I'll see you there.